Hi, my name is Rob Sims. I'm a PhD student at Lancaster University. I joined a group of Masters HCI students on a project which this video details. They were supervised by Dr. Christopher Clark of Bath University and Dr. Abe Karnick of Lancaster University. The challenge given to the students was to use a system grounded in HCI principles to benefit a homogeneous group. They selected higher education students as their target group. They also chose the principles of Paragogy, peer-based learning, and collaborative learning as the focus for their system. The learning activity chosen was mind palaces. The concept of a mind palace is a technique for memory recall. Literature uses the term mind palace and memory palace interchangeably. Mind palace is a spatial mnemonic technique where information is associated with various aspects of an imagined environment. The environment can be hosted by immersive technology such as VR. Memory palaces in VR enhance productivity through superior memory recall. Memory palaces in VR show performance is increased versus traditional desktop alternatives. The students also wanted to combine mind palaces with spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a repetitive technique used to train the brain to retain knowledge for long-term memory. Using spaced repetition in active learning strategies strengthens the review and reflect elements of active learning. This heuristic technique strengthens long-term memory and reduces memory decay. It also increases efficacy of learning compared to mass learning and boosts learner confidence. The focus of research in spaced repetition is the identification of timing protocols and algorithms to identify the optimal times when repetition is to be carried out. The main objective of Clever is to present learning resources in a collaborative environment. These learning objects are derived from existing material which can be text-based resources, image-based, audio-video resources, and finally interactive 3D models. But rather than describe the system, I will let one of the other authors, Verity Bellett, take you through a video walkthrough of the system.
Welcome to our video demonstration for Clever, a collaborative learning environment in virtual reality. Here you can see a rendition of our end goal product. In Clever, you can spend time revising with others in your virtual memory palace. You can customize your environment to suit your interests and needs. As you can see, this person has chosen a medieval village, but you can make it look like your bedroom if that's what you'd like. Moving around the virtual world allows you to utilize the memory palace technique, a spatial mnemonic technique where information is associated with various aspects of an environment. Objects in your space can have any number of revision materials attached to them, from 3D models to diagrams and even sound files. You can also make use of the spaced repetition technique, where Clever will remind you of which topics you need to revise so that you can stay on top of all of your materials. This space can also be navigated with respect to time, allowing you to replay previous interactions in the space in which a particularly good explanation was given by a friend. Clever allows you to have all of your learning resources digitalized and in one virtual environment. Especially in the current global situation, being able to host others in this environment and communicate is an essential tool. Thank you very much for watching our demonstration.
We conducted an expert review and an online survey adapted from a standard user experience survey to obtain feedback on the user experience and perception of using Clever. Participants were accompanied virtually by an experimenter within Clever. This allowed us to replicate the experience of collaboration. To reduce experimenter bias, the experimenter followed the same preset structure of interactions for each interaction. Participants were asked to complete Clever's tutorial to familiarize themselves with the system. After, participants were asked to interact in the Clever world. Finally, the participant was asked to reflective questions about the system. If the participant was using headset or binocular VR for exploring the Clever environment at any point during the survey, they were also required to fill in a motion sickness questionnaire. Due to the variable time taken for the participants to interact with Clever, each review took a minimum of 25 minutes. When the participants were asked to provide feedback on the experience, the overall sense was that the program was user-friendly. 6 out of 7 participants responded they would be interested in the final product. Some of the ideas on how they would use Clever were customizable and interactive revision materials, having all revision materials in one place, and this suggests that for most participants, Clever would be a program that they would use in a future version. Finally, we asked participants to rank the system features in order of importance or relevance to their studies, 1 being the most important and 7 being the least important. The features in question were virtual memory palace, spaced repetition revision prompts, customizability of the virtual space, replaying time spent in the space, synced viewing, hosting others in your environment, and full immersion. Virtual Memory Palace ranked the highest and no feature ranked at 5 or below. Due to the lockdown restrictions and difficulty in scheduling participants who had to be paired with an experimenter, the second study was planned as an online-only survey. The interactive demo and exploration of Clever was replaced with a video that demonstrated the proof of concept and visualized all of the elements mentioned in the survey. Although all participants responded that they engage in collaboration for study and revision, hosting others in the environment was ranked on average only the fifth most important feature of the revision space. When asked, does this end product sound like something you would be interested in using, 69% responded positively, 19% were undecided, and 12% chose probably not. No participants chose the option definitely not. For the user's opinion about the system, the open-ended responses included positive comments. These were centered on Clever being engaging, useful, and fun. Users could visualize the potential in having all their revision materials in the same place. Through the pedagogical lens of ARC, the responses showed that Clever is a candidate to be a true multimodal learning tool. Unlike previous implementations of virtual memory palaces, Clever also takes into consideration group recall and reflection activities, thus enabling Paragogy. Clever also takes advantage of the fourth dimension to learning, time. It provides the users an ability to scan back and forward in time, taking advantage of spaced repetition activities which scaffold a virtual mind palace which can be carried out in groups. In this study, we present Clever, a VR-based learning environment which supports two distinct learning techniques, mind palaces and spaced repetition, applied in the context of learner-led pedagogy. We demonstrate Clever as a WebXR-based prototype using A-Frame, aimed at showcasing the feasibility of low-cost, equitable access implementations for VR-based applications. We conducted two studies which showed that Clever is liked as an application is likely to find use if made available to learners. Overall, our results show that a VR-mediated environment combining memory palace and space repetition methods would be viable, useful, and a desirable learning tool.